morning. Thank you so much for joining my Instagram Live. I'm going to wait a few minutes just to make sure that other people are able to log on. The topics that I'll be sharing this morning are branding, how to increase your sales through online marketing strategies, and basically how to connect with more people on the internet. Hi, thank you so much for contacting me and logging in this morning, DSG Health Consulting. I'm going to be doing an Instagram Live. The topics this morning will be about branding, increasing your sales by using online marketing strategies, social media, and basically connecting with your audience and attracting new clients and customers. And then I'll get into some branding tips and a question and answer session at the end. But since you are the first person to log on, I wanted to ask if you have any questions right now about anything that maybe you're struggling with or anything in particular. You can just drop them below in the comments. In the meantime, I'll just do a really quick bio about me since I don't think we've connected personally. My name is Makita Waterman. I'm a branding and marketing consultation specialist and writer. I help companies across the globe and locally where I live with really getting their tone together, doing social media strategy, blogs, etc. I started this business really with a passion to help people, and that's why, as you can probably tell, I post content every day. My goal is to really just build a community and use some of the best practices that I'm using for myself right now and for customers and clients to help people online by sharing videos and quotes and everything else like that. So without further ado, again, I'm open to reading your comments and your questions as I'm going along in this presentation and just really helping you out because that's what I'm here for this morning. So branding and marketing, it's a new age right now. The old way of doing this was focusing on commercials and magazine advertisements, and I'm not saying that that doesn't work, but right now the new age of marketing, the new age of marketing right now is actually online. Now that we're in a quarantine, social media usage has been hi, thanks for joining Classic Boutique. Social media usage has been up about 20 to 50%. And that basically means that your customers and your clients are on social media right now looking for education, entertainment, and ways for you to solve their problems. And so right now I did some research, and consumers or your target audience, they're on LinkedIn. Hi, Sahaj, thanks for joining. Your target audience, they're on Instagram. A lot of people right now are using LinkedIn. Believe it or not, people are using Facebook to make purchasing decisions. Thanks for joining. People are also using Pinterest, and they're also on TikTok. My personal opinion, hi, good morning. My personal opinion is for all of you to really increase your coverage on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. And I say that because that's where people are online looking for answers. Thank you. Good morning, Sahaj. I appreciate it. And I really think that if you guys have a particular, so I'm just looking through the list here, Classic Boutique, you're in retail. I know above here we have health consulting. So you guys really have to think about the problems that your audience has right now. And the reason why I say that is because marketing is a conversation that you have with somebody. Whether you guys are married or single, I'm sure some of you have been on a date before. When you first meet somebody, if they went down on one knee and said, "Will you marry me?" you'd be confused. You're like, I just met this person. I don't know who they are. Let me date this person for some time, see if they can add value in my life, see if we're a good match, and then maybe later on, if he or she asks the question again, I might say yes. And that's what marketing and branding is. It's just basically, you're not really dating your customers, but you're just building a relationship online to show them that you are the go-to company or the go-to person to answer their questions and solve their problems. Now, one of the best ways to get customers right now, in my humble opinion, is by sharing posts several times a day. I'll tell you my strategy. I've got no secrets here. I post in the morning, I post midday around lunchtime or a little after that, and I post in the evening. Why do I do that? And you're probably thinking, wow, she has a really busy schedule. But I don't, because I do all my content on Sunday. I schedule it out on an app, and then sometimes on Instagram I will do things manually. So basically I say you should post 2 to 3 times a day because the person that wakes up in the morning and looks on Instagram or LinkedIn or Facebook, they might not check at lunchtime. They may not check in the evening. So that means your morning post might not be seen by 45 to 50% of your audience. I also like to change it up a bit. I'm sure many of you have noticed that I'm doing TikTok videos and I'm, pointing to tips and advice with really catchy tunes. But I'm doing that, ladies and gentlemen, because everybody learns differently. Some people like blogs, some people like videos, some people like audio. And so if you're open to starting a podcast, I recommend that too. And why do I say that? I know that we're in a quarantine, but there are literally people out there right now who are busy, and they don't have time to sit down and watch a YouTube video. But while they're walking their dog or taking their kids to the park or, jogging, they will put on a podcast and then listen to you and the tips and advice that you have to offer. And I say also when it comes to branding and marketing, be consistent. When somebody comes on your social media sites and they see like a sunrise or a picture of you pre-COVID-19 era on the beach, and then they see your products and services, it's kind of confusing. And I say that because before I started branding my content the last week of December, I actually was very confused about my strategy. I wasn't using the same strategy that I used to help companies with myself. I was posting sunrises, and I was posting pictures of my vacations, and I was posting, just stuff that had nothing to do with branding, marketing, writing, what I'm really, really good at. So I really want to stress the point that when you come on your Instagram page, make sure that you have a bio that answers the 5 W's: who, what, where, when, and why. And I say this because that's the first thing that people look at besides your profile photo. And make sure that the little parts at the bottom where you can click and you can add your stories show about you, and that might be a 15-second video talking about how you got started in your industry. Then show a testimonial, add a photo, maybe one day add a customer testimonial on your story, let it expire after 24 hours, and then share it there. Add services, maybe a list of your services, like a screenshot of your service page on your website. And just really be active and make sure that you are constantly thinking about the end consumer in mind. The other thing that I want to stress to you right now is that a lot of CEOs and companies are jumping on webinars. I've never seen the face of the CEO of Shopify before, but I saw him on a Gary Vaynerchuk webinar. I've never seen the face of SoulCycle, which is kind of like a celebrity fitness thing in Los Angeles, until the quarantine. So if you are comfortable, I'm personally an introvert, but if you're comfortable with getting in front of a camera, share a little webinar or do an Instagram Live, even if it's 5 or 10 minutes, once a week, once every 2 weeks. Go from 5 minutes to 15 minutes based on how you feel comfortable, and just be consistent and show up for your audience. Now, as I continue this presentation, please post a comment below. I'll read them as I go along. I want to be able to answer your questions. I know that some of you are in retail and in healthcare and service businesses, so I don't want to do this whole presentation and just talk. Feel free to post a comment below, and I'll do my best to answer them. So as I continue to go along, some other strategies that I would recommend for you is just really increasing your stories. I do this on Facebook and I do this on Instagram, and you'll probably notice that my name pops up, and I do that again because that person that saw my story at 8 o'clock in the morning, they might not see or the person that doesn't regularly communicate with me, they might not see my story. The other thing that I would want to share with you as well is just really try to understand your audience. And I'm doing a lot of surveys right now, and I'm doing surveys because it's not about me. It's about our customer. It's about the people that we service. And when people see, oh, wow, Sahaj, she constantly keeps doing surveys, or Classic Boutique, or DSG Health Consulting is doing surveys, it says, wow, this company cares about me. This company really is very focused on what I have to offer. Good morning, YG Links and MSG Graphics. Thanks for joining in. So do surveys. If you're on LinkedIn, I did a survey on LinkedIn on Friday, ladies and gentlemen, and I checked out who who participated in the topic that was the most highly voted. And then right on Saturday, I did a video about it. So do surveys because you really want to understand the mindset of your audience, and that will help you to create videos, quotes, blogs, articles, and just content that serves their needs. Anything that you do online when it comes to your business, or if you're trying to be a social influencer, it's never about you. It's always about the person at the end of the phone, at the end of the desktop. It's really important to just really start thinking like your customers. Because when you think like your customers, you can say, you know what, well, most of my customers are older men, and I know men like dark colors like black and greens and things like this, so I'm going to use this for my branding and my tone. And it's really going from there. Some other branding ideas that I really want to just share with you. I know that I've been sharing some things to avoid. So some things is just when you're doing your social media, think of it as a Fortune 500 company. Imagine your favorite brand like Nike or Forever 21 or Victoria's Secret. Imagine that you sent them a message on social media and they ignored you. How would you feel if they ignored you? Thanks for joining, Tycoon Megston. I appreciate you guys joining in this morning. So imagine that you posted content on social media for your biggest brand, your favorite company, or you liked a comment and they didn't get back to you. How would that make you feel? And yes, I agree. There are companies out there who are too big. They don't have the budget right now to outsource and get people to moderate their comments. But when people leave a comment, reply, and I know we're busy, but just applying with an emoji, it doesn't make people feel as good as applying with a sentence. And another thing that I like to do is I like to remember people's names. So if somebody leaves a comment on any of my profiles, LinkedIn, Instagram, wherever, I look on their profile before I reply, I check out their name, or I even go into checking their website. Look at their About page, check out their name, and just use people's names. And if they don't have a name, ask them, thank you so much for the comment. What's your name, by the way? Ask questions when people leave comments. And I say that because you're driving a conversation. You're driving a conversation for people to feel like, wow, this company or this person doesn't just care about getting my money. They're not just here to make a sale. They're here to actually add value to my life. And they actually remembered my name. Like, how many times have you gone on a really big company's social media site, planted a comment, and then they called you by your first name? It happens, but I'm going to tell you it's very, very rare. Some other things that I want to mention to you right now is just really amping up on video. LinkedIn is a really great place, and as you can tell, I get more views on my videos than I do on my text posts. Why? I don't know the science behind it, but I'm just going to take a wild guess and say that because we're in a quarantine right now, there are a lot of people who feel lonely. There are a lot of people who feel disconnected from society. So when they see your video and they see you saying, hi, how are you? And then this is the topic, they feel connected to you. It's so much better than a stock photo. It's so much better than, a screenshot of your blog and saying, click on bio to read. And you really want to make people feel warm. You want to make people feel connected. You want to make people believe that when it comes to Classic Boutique, Tyco Megston, YEG Links, etc., MSG Graphics, Sahaj, you want to make people believe that you are the go-to person when it comes to what you offer on the internet. You don't want your competitors right now to start strategizing. And I'm telling you, companies right now are pivoting. And what that means, it's a big word on LinkedIn, I know it's huge, but pivot means finding a new way to serve your customers online or going into that untapped market or even a target audience on a different side of the globe and start serving them. And I really, really want to stress the importance right now of just trying to pivot. Some of you guys might be making the most money you've ever had in your life, and some of you might be struggling and trying to figure it out. Start doing research, get into the mindsets of your audience, and just really figure out what their problems are, their pain points, their fears, their concerns, their issues. And you also have to think this. Have some gratitude too. I'm grateful for every single person that follows me, even if they don't post every day, even if they don't engage with me. I'm so grateful. I wake up every day to know that I have an audience because social influence is so powerful. It's so powerful right now because everybody's online, everybody's looking for answers, and again, if you solve them, you can help them. So if you guys have any questions, please post them below. I'll go over my best strategies and how to help you. Now, I get a lot of questions. People ask me, how do I grow my following? How do I get more sales? It's a quarantine. I don't know how to brand myself. And these are some questions that you... Okay, so Sahaj says, what do you suggest to promote your personal brand in a humble way and easy way? I'm an actress and I need to work on being more visible. I also don't love posting on social media. So Sahaj, since you're in the service business, you're an upcoming actress, I really think that people will be connected to you if you be yourself. If you get in front of the camera, maybe you start off with a 1-minute video and you say, hi everybody, my name's Sahaj. This is how I got started in the industry. I really, really love acting because it makes me feel alive. I feel so vibrant. I feel like I can really make people feel good during this quarantine. And you kind of get into your why. You have to get into your why because people, you know, the fancy photos and I know Instagram, it was a photography app, but it's a business app now where people are looking for a connection. So try to think about your why. Try to do a video or an IG Live. Just put out a post on your story, copy that advertisement on your story, put it on your profile. Say, hey, everybody, all of my followers, I'm grateful for you. My name is Sahaj. I'm in the acting industry. I want to connect with you. Join me on my Instagram Live. And get on your Instagram Live. Just really talk about you, how you got started, what kind of jobs you want to do, talk about your previous acting gigs, talk about where you want to be in the next 5 years, and then open up the floor. And I'm going to say also, Sahaj, I think you're in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. I could be wrong, but try to follow your favorite actresses and your favorite actors. And here's the social media strategy behind that. When you follow people who are at the top of the chain of what you're doing every day, and you comment on their posts, and you comment on the posts of the people that follow them, you might be able to attract an executive producer, other actresses, an agent, a PR agency. I have no idea. But follow the people that you admire in your industry and post on their comments and look at some of the people that post on their comments and make sure that it's something that people will say, wow, who's that girl? Who is she? And they'll go on your page and they'll like you. But just try to build a personal connection right now. You're in Edmonton, okay. So try to build a personal connection right now and even like people in Los Angeles, in high market places where there's lots of opportunities. I used to live in Toronto. So I know in Toronto and in Calgary, they film a lot of high budget videos, high budget movies. In Vancouver, they do the same thing. And Sahaj says, that's a good tip. I've never thought of that. Much easier for me than talking about myself. Yeah, absolutely. And like show some before photos. Show like maybe a photo of you at 5 years old singing and, you know, at a school play, or show some photos of you in ballet class. Like try to get personal. So if anybody else has any questions, please post them below. And so you just really want to think of social media. I know it's really intimidating to think about getting in front of a camera, doing selfies, and all this other stuff that all the Kardashians and all these big name people are doing. But it's the Kardashians and other celebrities and non-celebrities who started on YouTube can make millions, multi-millions of dollars using Instagram, which is a free app. You can do it too. So don't get too nervous about showing who you are. People aren't looking at your hair. They're not looking at, you know, the lighting in your photos. They're looking for answers, and they want to feel connected deep down inside with the company. So that's a great question. Thank you so much, Sahaj. If anybody else has any questions or comments below, please post them below. I'll continue to go for another 15 minutes, but I'll continue to open up the floor for your questions. Another thing that I would say, Sahaj, and just everybody else, I'm just going to open up the floor to everybody. Get on TikTok, okay? TikTok is not just used by 16-year-old girls anymore. That was a year or two before when Musical.ly turned to TikTok. I have grandmothers on TikTok. I have grandfathers following me on TikTok. I have men in oil and gas industry up north following me on TikTok. I have a 10-year-old following me on TikTok. I have a social responsibility to show up every day. And people like you, Sahaj, I'm going to keep going down the list, YG Links, Taika, all of you, Classic Boutique, get on TikTok. And the consumer might not be on TikTok as much as they are on LinkedIn and Instagram, but you can really do some fun videos, save those videos and put it on your Instagram and show a fashion shoot or show behind the scenes. And I really want to stress TikTok because even though it's an app for music and it's an app to have fun and ha 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 he he he, it's great because that 10-year-old and 15-year-old that's following me, they're not gonna stay 15 forever. And the other thing, too, is about the power of Generation Z is, in addition to millennials, Generation Z, they have a strong purchasing power. And obviously, most of them are still students, but they can go to their parents and say, hey, Mom, I really like that model. I know that you're an executive producer. Her name is Sahaj. Why don't you contact her because she did this, 15-second video. She's absolutely gorgeous, and we need her in our commercial. Boom. And you're like, I know a lot of people, I was like this several months ago, why would I be on TikTok when there's a 10-year-old looking at my content? They're not going to buy my branding and writing, but they have parents, they have friends, they have sisters, they have grandmothers in high places who run businesses, who want to start businesses, who want to start TV shows. So don't forget about the power of that. The other thing that I want to mention to all of you is increasing sales. It's great that we all want to do that, but it's really building a relationship with time on the internet with your audience, showing up every day if you can, or every other day, sharing your stories, sharing your before and after stories, sharing why you got started, sharing what, even just recognizing people. I'm not sure if, I know some of you, I recognize that you look at my stories. Sometimes I screenshot really nice testimonials or comments that people share about me, and I think it's a great way. It's a great way to show people that I care. It's a great way to show people that I'm listening, and I'll tag them in the story, and then they tag me, and that gives you also leverage to, for any of their followers that see that post, they might follow you. So really just think about online marketing as a relationship that you're building with your audience and your potential customers, and you're doing it in the form of a blog, a video, an article, and a webinar, an Instagram Live, a Zoom chat, whatever. And in your bio, I know some of you just logged on, make sure that your bio on all of your pages, they answer the 5 W's, who, what, where, when, and why. Because that's the first thing that people look at when they come on your page. And if you're going to show personal moments, that's fine, but just always bring it back to the customer. So before quarantine, I went to an event, and I started off the post by saying, this is me, I only had a smoothie, it was a long business day, and I rushed out the door to an event. But then I actually brought it back to the fact that as an entrepreneur, sometimes we don't want to wake up in the morning and serve people. So just really try to bring some of your personal photos and stuff like that back to something inspirational or back to something that can help people. And go from there. You don't have to show your family. You can show what you're comfortable with doing, but just try to use social media. Like I said, social media usage is up by 20 to 50% right now. People are looking for answers. They're looking for people that can entertain, educate, and inspire them. And don't be intimidated by, they're not liking or they're not commenting. It does not matter if they don't like. And I say that because on LinkedIn, I'm now starting to get traction. And some people contact me, they send me a message, and they never liked my post before. So don't ever think that the people that are only listening and watching are the people who are actively commenting and liking and watching your videos. There are people who stay silent, and they will actually connect with you at a time that they're ready. So I'm going to open up the floor again. If anybody doesn't have questions, I'm going to get going. Thank you so much for attending my Instagram Live. It's really a pleasure to be able to serve all of you. And I'm going to do this again every Monday, and preferably in the morning. If you guys have any ideas on times that are best for you, please let me know, or I'll post some more questionnaires on my surveys. But thank you so much. I'll just wait a few seconds here, just in case anybody has questions. And check out my upcoming surveys. I'll be putting some new topics, and then you guys can let me know what's best for you. Oh, you're welcome, Sahaj. You're welcome. Welcome Classic Boutique. Thank you all for joining me. I'm going to get going. I'll share this Instagram Live on my page. Stay healthy, stay safe. Let's stay connected. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. And I hope you have a wonderful week. Take care. Bye, everybody.